Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. Our next guest has coached hundreds of women to trust themselves. She teaches women to lead with more confidence and create a career they love. Joining us now is the author of Closing the Confidence Gap, Kelli Thompson. Kelli, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
First question for you, Kelli. What made you decide to become a leadership coach?
Well, it's really quite simple. I wanted to advance my mission of helping women advance to the rooms where decisions are made. But before that, I worked in corporate America. I'm a corporate veteran, and I worked in male-dominated industries. I know what it's like to look up and see all men in your leadership team. And so one of the things that I was really passionate about was coaching the women on my team. I loved having conversations with them about confidence and advancing their careers and how to present themselves. And so through my years of leadership development and working in corporate, I finally had the opportunity to go off on my own and start my own business, and I took it. And it was a big leap, but I really felt like it was going to be an opportunity to help more women, not just the ones that were in my organization, but to really help more women advance to the rooms where decisions are made by helping them boost their confidence, overcoming doubt, taking brave next steps, and giving them the tools that they needed to speak up, even if they were like I was and working in male-dominated industries like finance and banking and technology.
Kelli, what would you say is the biggest barrier women have when it comes to confidence in the workplace?
I really think that this is twofold. So I see both systemic barriers and I see personal barriers. And so the first one, the systemic barriers, a lot of the things that impact a woman's confidence at work is the inability to look up and see herself in the rooms where decisions are made. To look up and ask, gosh, do I even belong here? I remember in my own story, looking up and seeing an all-male leadership team and thinking to myself, I don't know if I'm ever going to advance beyond a certain rung of the ladder. And so a lot of the systemic issues, like not seeing themselves in leadership teams, the burden of the unpaid work that they receive, many times the pressure to be perfect, and the inability to make mistakes because one mistake could cost someone's career really impacts their confidence. But I also think that there's a personal element too, and that's something that I really work on with my clients, which is recognizing that we don't always need to feel confident before we take action, and that we are already more qualified than we think. We don't need another degree. We don't need another certification. And so it's really learning to feel the fear and the doubt and take action anyhow, instead of waiting to feel confident before we take action.
Kelli, sometimes that anxiety, though, can be crippling. So what are a few things we can do today to start building our confidence when we're in those kinds of situations?
The first thing that I love to have people do, and this is really, really simple, is it's sometimes hard to know what we should want or what we should do or the actions we should take to feel more confident. So what I have people start with is, what's really easy? I bet you can all do it right now as you're listening. I want you to think of 3 to 5 things that you don't want. It's really easy to say, oh, I don't want that. I want no more of this. I'm no longer going to tolerate this. Think of 3 to 5 things that you don't want. Maybe start with some things that are making you feel kind of resentful right now at work, and make a plan for how you're going to say no to that. And then once you say no to that, I want you to notice that all of a sudden, maybe you feel a little bit more empowered. You feel a little bit more conscious and intentional about taking the right next steps for you. Just that practice of saying no to what you don't want actually produces confidence because it puts you in the driver's seat of making the right choices for yourself. The second simple thing that you can do, I want you to start with something small. I want you to take action on something today where you don't feel confident yet. Maybe you feel a little scared, a little nervous, a little anxious, but remember, the actions of confidence come first, the feelings come second. So you can kind of take that small next brave step while also feeling a little doubtful. So just pick one thing that makes you a little nervous and do it while also feeling nervous. Because remember, confidence is a side effect of taking action.
Kelli, what advice do you have for somebody who is looking at that promotion and they see that job for themselves, but they're not sure how to go about it?
Oh, that's such a good question. I get that all the time. The first simple answer is apply for it. I've been in HR and I can tell you how many times I've had women come into my office because they see a job on the posting board and they say, Kelli, I don't know. I only meet like 9 or 10 of the qualifications. And so then they get in their heads about it, thinking they need more experience or another certification. Step 1, simply apply. When I talked with men, oftentimes they had a different appearance of it. They would see a job and they're like, well, that looks cool. And so they'd apply for it and they'd go through the process and they'd ask questions. So it's really simple. If you see something that interests you, apply for the job, get into the conversations, make a list of all the reasons why you would be excellent at that job and they need to hire you.
And Kelli, one last question for you. Let's say you get that job and you're negotiating that pay raise. What is the key to negotiating the right pay for yourself?
Oh, there's some good tips here. First, the salary transparency is really big right now. So you can go out onto LinkedIn and job posting boards, salary.com, and see what that role is being paid right now. And so you can bring in data and say, for this job in my market, this role is paying between X and Y. And then bring in those qualifications and those results that I just talked to you about and say, because I've accomplished A, B, and C, I deserve to be paid X.
Kelli, thank you so much. For more information, you can check her out at kellyraythompson.com. Closing the confidence gap. Stay with us. The Daily Flash returns right after this.